The swing, I don't want a problem, right? Oh. See, we work out of scenarios. We go like, hey, I don't want a problem. Person swings, they tackle, they pull a knife, they pull a pistol, they step away, and then they do a punch. We do a lot of scenario training because that's often how fights happen or how they begin in real self-defense, right? Instead of saying, are you ready? Are you ready? I mean, it's somebody invading your space and saying, hey, like this, and like, you're just out for a good time or going to do something. Suddenly they're bringing it to you. So you do your best to talk them down because you really don't want to get in a fight. Really don't want to get in a fight. So we're here, whatever. He throws a swing, right? I'm covering up however you get in many different ways. And I'm going to come in and right away I have that overhook. Now, I can reach in and grab the collar. And then from here, I can come all the way up to the other side and I can work my collar choke in. And you can actually choke somebody out standing in front of them. That is very valuable for self-defense. Extremely, extremely valuable. Now, one thing on that, when you get the first, well, first of all, you have to have enough collar to grab. When you grab that first one, it'd be nice if I could, put my thumb in here and come wrap it around to do the choke, basic like guard chokes. But the thing is, a lot of times, once you have a hold of this far lapel, it actually tightens the lapel on this side as you pull it, and it's hard to get your hand in or your fingers in. So what you need to do is you take a grip and you actually grip the gi itself. Here's the key on that, is with practice, you will find where you can grip the gi back here, right? But, see, I'm going to do it incorrectly. I'm going to grip it too far. See, now all the pressure is up here on this neck muscle. Okay? That's not where we want it. We want it down on the carotid. So you with practice, you kind of put that in there, you get the grip, and now when I have two hands on it, you really have a good choke. The other thing is this right forearm, the second hand in, the forearm is doing the choke. What we're going to do is we're going to push it to the chest, so it's harder for him to put his chin down and counter the choke. If I kind of have it up here, he's just going to put his chin down. So you want to push to the chest, get underneath. The second hand is pulling diagonally across here, so it cuts off the carotid. If I pull straight down, it doesn't. If I pull up, it doesn't. I need to go diagonally down in this direction here, like this. So again, you're in there, however it is, you get to the position, and Israel will tell you, it's a lot of pressure. A lot of times we use forward pressure too, take them into a wall. It's much easier to push them into the wall. But that collar choke is so, so valuable. Same thing on the ground. A lot of chokes on the ground. Use that collar. Actually, let's go to the ground for a second here. You can do the same sort of thing. You can come up. Actually, let's rotate all the way here. Same thing. I'm overhook. I'm grabbing inside, I'm reaching up here, and I keep my head closed. I have that same choke there. Okay. And again, I'm not going into a lot of detail because you can rewind. I'm not doing it a bunch of times. But you get that far collar, you get in, but you do it in a way where your forearm is at the carotid. That's the key, the accuracy. Like punching, it has to be accurate too. You can't just go here and make him choke. You have to put it in a spot where it's actually affecting the carotid artery, and then you do the constriction, and that's it, if it's accurate. If I do it one more time, and I'm not accurate, up here, I can push all day and nothing's going to happen. Okay, now, as far as collar chokes go on the ground, again, it's so important because you're on your back. You don't have to transition to his back. You don't have to get his head down and do a guillotine. You can finish from right here. This is why the collar chokes are so important in street self-defense. And we'll look at doing it with a t-shirt in a little bit. But as an example, here's one. He's here, he's starting to punch, right? I've got one arm. If I can get my right hand inside the collar, and it's the same side, I'm not reaching it in here. I'm the same side, which actually helps with the punches. When he punches, it helps a little bit stop the shoulder. He's going to still go up and over and go kaboom, right? So I put the shin in here. But then if you transfer up to the kanto choke, right? This is such a valuable choke for self-defense. And the key thing is, up in the collar, even when you're going with jiu-jitsu partners, the nice thing about this for jiu-jitsu is when I get a cross-collar choke, when I first get that first cross-collar grip, he feels it on his neck. This is threatening. He's going to probably break my grip, right? If I go up here, a lot of times the person doesn't feel such a threat. It's See, I'm pushing it away. It's not even on his neck. It doesn't feel like a threat. It's not crossing his neck. It doesn't feel like a threat. This is from judo, right? Originally, a guy named Flavio Canto, a Brazilian guy, judo champion, came up with this. Then, all you do, right arm, right leg. You come out, you throw it over. Only problem here is when I start to do the choke, any choke we're doing, especially with the collar, any collar choke, if I pull it in, he can counter it by rotating with the choke and he'll be out of it. Okay? So we have to keep him from rotating. And the way you do that on this choke is by grabbing the gi on this side. You can also, if you happen to underhook, that helps him from going. Kanto, what he did is he'd fish this foot under the other arm, I have a hard time doing that, but this works really well, grabbing here. I grab the cloth, is when I pull this choke, it'll actually, the cloth will move from this side and it'll give them a little bit of leeway, right? So instead, when I'm going here, I'm grabbing the cloth and now I push down with my leg and you have a very, very strong collar choke. Okay, so, and I'll give you one other little trick on this Kanto choke since it's so good. It's just a good example of all kinds of collar chokes. Great thing about the Kanto choke, right, is this. Maybe he's passing my guard, right? He's passing my guard. I'm like, oh gosh, like this. I come over and I cross up, right? As I cross up, I can actually put my hand in the collar and come back to the Kanto choke. Okay, so one more time here, just so you can see. Probably this way. Better over here. Okay, so I'm going here, starting to pass the guard, right? It goes here, right? I crossed up. As I cross up, most people are used to having that leg on their neck like that, right? Now let's rotate all the way back around here. They're used to that. That's not a threat. They're used to that, and they're like, okay, I'm going to pass the other way. I'm going to grab the collar. See, I just grabbed right in, grab that collar, and now they walk right into the choke. I get that a lot. That's a nice little tricky way to do it. But the point being, work your collar chokes. Work them from the back. If you're at the back and they have a collar to grab, really, if you can get the double collar, that's the strongest, right? If you need to go to bow and arrow, right?